Welcome to Sarah's Scuba and Travel Channel. Girona, Spain is an easy day trip from Barcelona. We took an 8:19 a.m. train from Barcelona Sands train station and arrived in Girona by 8:58 a.m. To do a quick search on the various train lines and find the right departure time and class, I used trainline.com. Train travel is really one of the easiest forms of travel, especially in Europe. Once on board, you can sit back and enjoy the scenery, watching the countryside pass you by, not having to deal with traffic or navigating cities and highways. Once we exited the train station, we grabbed a taxi and headed to the Girona Cathedral. The streets were empty and pretty quiet at this time of day. We made our way up the 90-step monumental staircase to the entrance of the cathedral. The main facade of the cathedral is primarily Catalan Baroque. It is adorned with 1960s sculptures depicting the Virgin Mary with baby Jesus, St. Peter, St. Paul, St. John the Evangelist, and St. Narcissus, the patron saint of Girona, with the rose window at the top. Then we discovered the cathedral was open and we were able to enter and wander around on our own. The vaulted ceilings and stained glass are stunning. From the main entrance, both sides of the cathedral are lined with beautiful altars. One of the altars contains a golden eagle that is the symbol of the city of Girona and is used in the Corpus Christi celebration. The Gothic nave is the widest in the world with a width of 75 feet. There is a display of the progression of the construction of the cathedral over time as well. The main altar is spectacular with a lavish 14th century gilded silver altarpiece and ancient marble episcopal throne. It was created between 1320 and 1357, crafted from wood and completely covered in silver and gold, accented with precious stones and enamels. The altar table is made of marble and dates back to the 11th century. Charlemagne's chair is positioned behind the altar. This is an 11th century Romanesque episcopal marble throne historically used by bishops during ceremonies. We definitely got the Gothic feel with the dark walls and columns near the main altar. Next, we made our way to the Arab Baths, which was right around the corner from the cathedral. If you have watched my other videos, I try to plan all stops in a circle pattern for efficiency and to maximize the number of sites to see. There is a small fee to enter. The public baths date back to 1194. Upon entering, you immediately find yourself in the apoditerium, which was the changing room or locker room. This is the most gorgeous room on site, and it was restored from 1929 to 1932. The ceiling is made of volcanic rock. The baths users entered and exited through this room, where they also changed their clothes and chatted. The square perimeter is structured around the central element, a small octagonal pool surrounded by columns, and is projected above the roof with an octagonal lantern supported on arches and pillars. Towards the end of the self-guided tour, you can view the rooftop portion of the lantern. From here, you can make your way through the various ritual rooms that patrons would have used, starting with the cold room. Access was through two double doors that closed by the force of gravity and practically sealed the room, helping to keep a low temperature. No specific cooling process was required. Rainwater was stored in a cistern until it was used later. Next is the warm room, where bathers would get massages, enjoy debate, and eat and drink. This is the second largest room. The floor was connected underneath to the hypocaust from the caldarium to maintain a comfortable temperature. The fourth room is the hot room, the bath's hottest room, where the temperature could rise above 40 or 50 degrees Celsius, and the air was full of steam. The air was heated in a furnace housed in an adjoining room and was taken to the caldarium through an underground chamber connected to the furnace. The caldarium had a small shallow pool situated in the southeast corner of the chamber. Near the entrance to the Arab Baths, there is an access point to the city walls, Passage Archéologique. The ancient city walls are the next stop in this itinerary. It is free to walk the city walls. There are various towers that you can choose to climb along the way. The views of the city are gorgeous from the walls. These walls date back to the 1st century BC with Roman origins. They were heavily reinforced in the 9th and 10th centuries by the Carolingian Empire. In the 14th century, the walls were extended to include more neighborhoods in the city. By the 1800s, the walls were no longer being used for military defense, and sections were dismantled to allow the city to grow. Between 1983 and 2003, extensive restoration projects reconstructed the missing and degraded parts. Today, the wall separates the old and new towns. You can walk along the wall all the way to the last access point near Carrer del Carme. The walk is about 30 minutes, but could be longer depending on how many times you stop and how many towers you decide to climb. At this point, we made some stops along the Anyar River area. First, if you want to visit another church, the Temple Expiatoria del Sagrat Cor is in the area. This is a neo-Gothic style Catholic church. It is in a quiet area of the city with less tourists, so the visit was very peaceful. This church is also on the way to Pont de Pedra, where you can get views of the colorful houses that line the river. There was actually a little street market set up along the bridge with artisans the day we visited. If you are hungry at this point, the restaurant Le Bistro is a highly recommended lunch spot in the area. The outside tables are set up on the terrace across from a medieval arch and the accent stairs that lead up to St. Dominic. There is a 10% supplement to sit on the terrace. They do offer a multi-course menu for a flat fee. The menu options weren't exactly what my husband was looking for that day, so we did not stay to enjoy lunch. I would definitely go back and try it though. So we made our way back to Rambla de la Libertat and walked to Pont de les Pachateres Valets to get pictures on the iconic Girona Bridge, built by Gustave Eiffel right before the building of the famous Eiffel Tower. We did not cross the river because we had one additional stop on the east side first. Please let me take a quick break to share the international travel log I created with you. This log allows you to quickly capture your daily adventures without long journaling sessions at the end of the day. There's a place to record your bucket list travel goals and a map to track your travels. The log contains 50 entries, each containing a mementos page to visually capture your memories. For more information and to order your copy, please see the link in the description below. Okay, so next we made our way through the Jewish Quarter to the Museum of Jewish History. There's a small fee to enter the museum, which includes the use of an audio guide. 25 Jewish families arrived in Girona in the 9th century. 3 centuries later, the quarter was a well-established neighborhood for the Jewish population of Girona. The museum contains artifacts from Jewish daily life around the Middle Ages, addressing topics of community life, festivals and traditions, the life cycle, Jewries, the synagogue, cultural heritage, and more. The outside area contains archaeological remains of the Jewish quarter. The museum occupies the building which in the 15th century housed the synagogue and other communal areas used by Girona's Jewish community. There are 29 tombstones on display in the cemetery exhibit as well. When done, we made our way across Pont de Sant Agustí. This bridge offers views of Pont de les Pachateres Valets. We stopped to enjoy the ducks and got the surprise of seeing a beaver working on finding wood for his dam. So cute! Once my husband pulled me away from the wildlife, we made our way to Plaza de la Independencia, which you immediately enter upon exiting the bridge. It is a beautiful plaza lined with cafes. We decided to grab a late lunch at the busy Casa Marietta. The interior was lined with beautiful wood carvings, and I just wanted to walk around looking at the decor. The food was tasty too. For dessert, we headed to Rocambolesque for gelato, where ice cream is met with creativity and fun. This is not your typical ice cream shop. They offer fun, whimsical popsicles as well as fresh gelato with toppings. There are weekly options available as well. It was hard to decide on which one to get because I wanted to try everything. We settled on 2 to share. The first was a chocolate ice cream with pieces of chocolate cake, chocolate nibs, and melted chocolate. The second one was more fun, with sheep's milk yogurt ice cream, caramel sauce, guava sauce, and cotton candy on top. Yes, cotton candy. They were both very tasty and the perfect treat before our walk to the train station. At this point, we were about a 15-minute walk from the train station, so we took a leisurely stroll in that direction, as we still had plenty of time. Our evening train to Barcelona left at 5:51 p.m. We had a very enjoyable day in Girona and felt like we saw a good portion of the old city. This was another small city that we really enjoyed during our time in Spain, and I hope you will enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button. If you would like to support future productions, you can donate using the Super Thanks button or buying me a snack using a link in the description below. You can also follow me on Facebook, join the Facebook group, and follow me on Instagram for more content.